Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Suzanne here to do your Tuesday topical reading. And the topic today is about totally unexplained connections. So, what is it about? It feels different. It feels unlike anything that you've had in the past. It feels like something that it feels bigger than the both of you together. You don't really understand why somebody might be consuming you in some way. All right, so we're going to take a look at, what this is about, or is this connection real? Is it something that you feel like you might be making up in your head, and maybe the other person doesn't feel it at all? Okay, so we're going to start off with some Lenormand cards, and then we'll go from there. So what is this connection all about? Is it mutual? Does the other person feel it? Let's take a look, all right? So first card out, we have the significant female or the significant feminine, all right? And where is this person? This could be you, okay? If you consider yourself the feminine, all right, then this is you. If you consider yourself the masculine, then this is about your feminine, okay? It's interesting that you're facing away from the rest of the cards, all right? That's notable. Wow. And then we have the masculine. Look at that. Look at that. The two of you are not facing each other. Okay, I got to tell you guys that it's very rare. As a matter of fact, the only time I ever see both of these cards come out are in personal readings. I cannot think of a time in a general reading when both of these cards came out. So let's see. And then we've got the letter, which is about communication. And then we have the bear. Okay. So first of all, the fact that the two of you are not facing each other, it's like neither one of you are facing this connection head on. You're just not. Okay? And why is that? Here we have the letter, which is about communication. All right. Communication has been difficult for the two of you. Okay. The bear says that you're both very, very protective of yourselves. And this can be a little bit of protecting the ego, because when somebody comes into your life like that, that makes that much of a dramatic impression upon you, you feel a little bit fragile. You feel like, oh my God, if I actually do talk to this person, if I show them, a hint of how I feel, I could get crushed. Okay. And I feel like both of you are feeling that. Both of you are avoiding some type of communication. It's like, I feel like it might be difficult for the two of you to even look at each other without feeling like you're revealing something to the other person. So you're highly in this protective mode. You're protecting your heart. You're protecting your ego. You're protecting yourself right now. You don't quite know what to do with this, okay? This could be a new connection. This could be something that's been going on for a significant period of time. But either way, you know, this could mean that the two of you are not talking at all. I will say, because the masculine is facing this letter or this communication, I feel like the masculine here is more likely to be communicating or trying to communicate than even the feminine here. Or he's thinking about it. Okay? Because these two cards are in the middle. So they are the most significant in this reading. All right, so let's see what these are about. Let's break down each card. Whoops. Well, that is interesting. All right, so the fact that all of the cards just kind of went all over the place, I feel like that's kind of an indicator of how the two of you might feel. You know, it's like you're all over the map. You're all over the place when it comes to what this connection is, why it's happening, why it feels different. So let's explore the feminine first here. All right, so we have abracadabra. So for you, if you are the feminine, which the majority of my viewers are feminine or are female, you feel like this is a magical thing. You feel like this is a magical type of connection. You are absolutely thinking and possibly exploring why this feels magical or special to you. All right, you absolutely are. Let's see for the masculine. Wow. We have mermaid's love. Okay, so mermaid's love is about love, partnership, and support. So this person is absolutely feeling a deep connection when it comes to you, you know, and even if the two of you haven't, you know, experienced a lot of interaction in between the two of you, this person has had the thought along the way at some point that this could be love, or you could be the one. So that's, you know, that's pretty significant. Okay. Let's see what this communication is. You feel it's magical, and this person is thinking this feels like love. Communication, and then we have Sleeping Beauty's dream. Okay. Barney, what are you doing? What are you doing, honey? Stop doing that. Oh my goodness. My dogs. Sleeping Beauty's dream. So I feel like what this is saying here is that communication is asleep right now. It's not happening, or if it is happening, it's happening within your dreams. You know, if you're dreaming about this person, you're communicating true feelings in your dreams. You know, the interactions that you have in your dreams are, you know, kind of fulfilling that magical quality for you and confirming potential love for the masculine here, for the significant male. But I don't feel like it's happening in this world right now. So what's this bear about? What's this protective energy about here? We have, look at that. Can you hear me? Wow, this feels very like we're transcending dimensions here a little bit, okay? You know, and what's significant here to me is this card number is 28, and we have the masculine here. This card number is 28. I feel like the masculine is saying, you know, can you hear my heart? Can you hear me? This masculine definitely wants to know if his vibration is transcending or is, you know, I feel like he feels like he's communicating in some way. Again, because he is looking at this communication card. I feel like he's trying to give a message. He might be trying to give a message with, you know, within the dream state. But I feel like he is definitely trying to give a message. And the only message he's trying to give is that he has love for you, his person. This might surprise you. This might shock you. Or it might not, because you feel this magical connection. I don't feel like the two of you have had a lot of interaction. Again, I don't. You know, it might have been, I don't know, it might have been a situation where you happen to be forced together for some reason, maybe at a work event, maybe at a charity event, maybe at something that you were both invited to, and, you know, you had a phenomenal conversation, and then there was not a lot of follow-up, or if numbers were exchanged or emails were exchanged, you know, maybe there was a little follow-up there. And then this might be somebody that you see on a regular basis or know where they're at, and it's like your stomach fills up with butterflies every time you see this person. I feel like that's a mutual feeling. All right, so let's look at all right, I'm not even gonna try to do that. I can't shuffle these cards in the traditional way. My hands aren't big enough, and these cards are very heavy. They're beautiful. I love them, but I have a terrible time trying to shuffle these cards. All right, so let's look at this feminine energy over here. We're going to pull the cards. This is tarot, kind of elaborating on what this is about. All right, so we have Seven of Wands. Look at that. You feel this magical connection. You feel something very special. You are looking in the other direction, though. And with the Seven of Wands here, and again, I'm not doing reversals and general readings. So Seven of Wands says that it's like, it's almost like you're standing your ground. You're being perceived as being somewhat defensive, like protective of, again, look at over here, this bear, protecting yourself from this connection. It might feel somewhat overwhelming to you. Why? Why does it feel overwhelming to you? We have Nine of Pentacles. So I feel like you've been on your own for a while, or because Nine of Pentacles is about being content, being single. Like you might have decided at some point in your life, you know what, I might go out on a few dates here and there, but, I pretty much have everything I want in life. It would be nice to have a connection, but I'm not I'm not necessarily holding out for it. And, I feel like this could be a situation for you where it's like you were not looking for this at all. I feel like you're protecting your independence in a way. You might not even be aware that you're doing that, but your energy, is, it feels that way possibly to this masculine. It's like you might be struggling between, having this magical, beautiful connection, feeling something that you haven't felt before, enjoying that feeling, but at the same time, do I really want to give up my independence? Do I really want to be accountable to somebody? You might be struggling with that energy. Let's see, for this masculine who is definitely feeling some type of love or falling in love or very deep feelings, we have 6 of Pentacles. So I feel like this masculine feels like, honestly, they feel like they're questioning whether or not you even really acknowledge that this was even something special. Like they almost feel very out of balance here. Like the feelings to them feel stronger on their side. And truthfully, that might be the case. Okay? They might feel a little bit vulnerable because of these strong feelings of love, strong feelings of attraction. But they feel it's out of balance right now. And they feel like it's heavier on their side. Why is that? Wow. We have the Tower. Okay, so I don't feel like this is a normal thing for this masculine or this man to be going through. Okay? The Tower says that this connection was completely out of the blue, was completely unexpected. I don't feel like this masculine was, for any reason, really looking for this type of strong connection. I feel like it's disrupted their life in some way, possibly because of the fact that they're thinking about it all the time, or, they're thinking about, heavily what they're saying or doing, or, the fact that they might be talking about this with some people. They might be researching online about soulmates. They might have fallen upon some, Twinflame. But I feel like it's disrupted their life. This connection in some way has disrupted their life. All right, so let's look at this communication that's happening potentially in the dream world, but not necessarily here in the physical world. We have 9 of Wands. Okay, so the reason I feel like it's not happening here, 9 of Wands is a very cautious and suspicious energy. And I feel like both of you are feeling that for different reasons. You're very cautious because, I feel like, feel the magical quality of it. You might enjoy that. You might enjoy thinking about it from time to time. But at the same time, you're defending your independence. And you might not even be actively thinking about that. You're just enjoying the magical quality of the connection. But are you thinking long term? I don't feel like you are. It's like, if this comes my way, okay, I'll enjoy it in the moment. But I don't get the feeling like you're thinking long term. For this person, for the masculine, I feel like the masculine is thinking in that way. Like, this could be my life partner, my soulmate, my twin flame. That's kind of an unusual flip. But that's what I'm feeling here. So both of you are cautious because this masculine or this man I feel like could get very, very hurt, like devastated. If he communicated and you kind of turned your back on it, or your defenses went up. You're cautious because you're cautious. You don't necessarily know. You might be in a place in your life where, you don't really know that you want to mesh lives with somebody else. This connection could have been coming into your life because, I don't know, because somebody, possibly who has passed on sees that, you might be isolating yourself. You might be spending more time alone than is overall maybe healthy. I do feel like this particular feminine does like her alone time, which is perfectly okay. I feel like somebody that is, who has passed on or who is beyond this earth sees that being in this type of loving connection would only benefit you. And you might be getting that message in your dreams as well. What else here? Wow, we have 9 of Swords. So this is so interesting because we have 2 9s here. We have a 9 for you. Okay, and this card here, communication, 27, breaks down to a 9. 9 is very significant here. So you might be seeing 999, and I feel like, that tells me that we're on the cusp of something here. Like something is getting ready to happen. Like your lives here are getting ready to change drastically, potentially because of each other. Okay, so 9 of Swords definitely talks about, what we do at night when we're alone. It can be the nightmare card. You might be having nightmares about what could happen if I actually approach this person. I feel like both of you have experienced that, because all of this right here is, I feel like, happening, telepathically or in the dream state or in the astral field. I feel like this communication that's happening between the two of you is not happening in the physical world. It's happening beyond. And I feel like beyond is trying to communicate with you guys as well. All right, so let's look at this one. Can you hear me? 8 of Wands, communication. Holy cow. And again, I feel like this is the masculine looking directly at communication. If you are waiting to hear from somebody, or maybe not even thinking about talking to this person is absolutely, the masculine energy here is seriously thinking about communicating. Okay? And I feel like this card, Can You Hear Me, is happening again in this dream state. I almost feel like one of the conversations that the two of you will eventually have is, did you have a lot of crazy dreams? Did you experience some of the things that I experienced? Because I feel like that's something that both of you really seriously could be asking. What's one more here? 8 of Wands clarified by Hierophant. So, Hierophant, yes, it can be about commitment. It can be about marriage. It can be about, a traditional path. At the core of it, though, it's really about core values, and this connection could be really challenging both of your core values. For the masculine, what are his core values around relationship and connection and love? I feel like that's what he's being asked, or being challenged to really look at. He might be challenged around communication, or around communication in love. For you, I feel like this is asking you, what are your core values around connection and relationship with other people? Do you spend a lot of time by yourself because you don't want to have to compromise and bend to anyone else? I mean, this can absolutely describe me at different times in my life, for sure. I've enjoyed connections with people, but at the same time, I always keep it at arm's length, because I just do. So this definitely, I can resonate with this. So I feel like that's what, you're being asked to really look at your core values. If this person has made an impression on you that literally makes you ask, what have I been doing for the last X amount of months or years or whatever, there's a reason for that. And this all comes up underneath the protective energy. So this is what each of you are protecting. For this masculine, I feel like he's very protective about how he speaks about love. He's very protective of himself about what his core values are around love. This could be a masculine that's been, a bachelor his entire life, and all of his friends know he's a bachelor. His family knows he's a bachelor, and suddenly somebody like yourself has come along that is changing his whole world, his whole value system. Right? All right, so let's pull another card for each one here, because I'm curious. One more for the feminine. We have 8 of Swords. Okay, so I feel like this card is speaking to you, saying, look, you can stay exactly where you're at, okay? You can keep yourself, surrounded by these swords. You can turn a blind eye to this connection, and nothing changes in your life. Or this is also the card that calls you to make yourself vulnerable to love. That might be somewhat uncomfortable to you. It might be uncomfortable to you to make yourself completely vulnerable to somebody. But I feel like if there was somebody, or if there was anybody that could help you to do this, I feel like it's this person. Okay, so this 8 of Swords is answering kind of what you have to do in order to it's answering what you would have to do to stay where you're at and just stay in a fantasy about this. Or do you make yourself vulnerable and turn around and look at this masculine? All right, so one more card for the masculine. Queen of Swords. Okay, so this is what I feel like this masculine expects from you. Queen of Swords. And I feel like he is being challenged right now to say, do I take a risk with communicating to somebody that could give me the energy of Queen of Swords? And you absolutely could give this energy, Queen of Swords, like, nah, you know what? Thanks, but no thanks. And, if you make yourself vulnerable, you're not going to be the Queen of Swords. Okay? And what's interesting is that if this masculine believes that, you know, let's say that you are Queen of Cups instead of Queen of Swords, then suddenly you're going to make yourself vulnerable. So both of these energies you can see play off of each other, because I feel like this is, you know, your primary belief system here. So let's take a look over here. We have, look at this, we have the Devil. I feel like, card of Capricorn, okay, but I feel like the communication is the Devil right now for the two of you. It's the toxic, and I don't feel like it's toxic. I feel like it's I feel like the temptation between the two of you is so strong. The attraction might be so strong that the communication is stifled because of it. And the only place that you can communicate effectively, you know, whether you believe in communicating in dreams or not, I feel like this is telling you that this is happening. It's like the only way that you can get past this devilish quality about the communication right now, which is because the two of you can barely look at each other without feeling this intense energy or connection. And it's like the only way to get past the Devil is to do this in your sleep, where the ego kind of just is dormant in that state. And that's where, you know, true love can really just thrive, and you can feel it like through your whole body. Unbelievable. All right, so one more over here, over this protective energy, we have King of Wands. Okay, remember, the bear is about a protective nature that both of you have. You're both protecting your heart. You're both protecting your ego. I feel like the masculine is saying, can you hear me? Possibly in this dream state. Okay. Down here, communication. We're protecting ourselves. We're protecting ourselves possibly from communication. We see that here. And the Hierophant is truly about asking what your core values are and where those core values are taking you. And, you know, I feel like this King of Wands is again speaking to this masculine here. It's like the King of Wands is somebody that takes action. The King of Wands is somebody that, you know, does something now and thinks about it later. You know, and it feels to me like that's what this masculine is getting ready to do. He's getting ready to take some type of action regardless. And I feel like it's around communication. So let's pull one more card for this King of Wands. What is he getting ready to do? Four of Cups. So I don't feel like it's easy for this masculine to be in this King of Wands energy. I feel like it's something that he is fighting within himself because of this Queen of Swords. I feel like this Queen of Swords brings out, you know, his negative thinking about this connection. Like, does she even know I exist? Does she even know I am looking at her? Does she know that I stare at her? Does she know that I think about her? Like, the Three of Cups here are a lot of the time what he is focused on. And then you've got this Ace of Cups behind her. I feel like the King of Wands is the energy of getting him to focus on the Ace of Cups, you know, his one true love, which I feel he is very in tune with. I feel like he feels like he could either fall in love with you or is already in love with you if you are the feminine. So it's like he needs the King of Wands energy to be able to focus on the Ace of Cups, which feels like he's focusing on the odds against him. But there's no other king that would be better to help him focus on his Ace of Cups. This is, King of Cups is when he's at his best self, when he's projecting his best energy, his confidence. King of Wands, you know, can be an entrepreneur. This could be somebody that is extremely successful in the business world, and when it comes to love, he has struggled in his life. Because he might be extremely successful, that could be why you have your back to this person. You could be thinking, yeah, this would be nice, this would be very magical, this would be amazing, but does he really even notice me? Does he really even see me? He absolutely does. And he's a little bit afraid of you because I don't feel like you're making it obvious that there's a connection here. I don't necessarily feel like the masculine is making it obvious. I feel like if anybody here is making it more obvious, though, it is the masculine in this connection. Okay? All right, so advice from Spirit here. We're going to take one card from each deck and see what we get. Advice from Spirit. All right, so we have the snake. We have day and night. All right, so day and night. All right. Day and night is about uncertainty, fear, and worries. So what this is saying is that both of you are spending a lot of your time worrying about this situation versus doing anything about it. I feel like the masculine is challenged to actually do something about it. Remember, this is advice from Spirit. And then we have the Fool. All right, so what I feel like Spirit is saying here is whatever your past has been, whatever negativity has happened in your past, and I feel like this is a message for both the feminine and the masculine in this connection. Whatever bad experiences you've had is creating the worry, the fear, the doubt that you have about this connection. It's this past energy isn't serving the present energy at all. And it's like when you let go of this, and that applies to both of you, when you let go of this, you know, this is why this bear came up. You both feel like you have to protect yourself from something that you've experienced before. You know, even though this connection might feel different to both of you, you're still basing it on other relationships that you've had in the past that didn't work. It's like this is a brand new connection in some way. It's like you can't base this brand new connection on anything that's happened in the past, because the two of you together might be completely different than anything that you've ever experienced before. And that's the truth. if you think about the different relationships you've had, while there might be very common themes, right? There might be very common themes that you've experienced in other relationships, but the people, the different people that you've experienced have been completely different from one person to the next. They have their own special qualities that make them who they are. So, this feels like something that could be completely different. And Spirit is saying here with the Fool, it's like, yeah, it does feel like something that you've never experienced before, and there's a reason for that. So I'm asking that you take a step into the unknown to experience something that you've never known. All right? All right, guys. That is your Tuesday reading regarding these unexplainable connections that a lot of you are experiencing out there. All right? So I hope it helps. Hope you enjoyed it. And I will talk to you next time. If you are looking for a personal reading, just reach out. If you're brand new to my channel, welcome. Usually, if I have anything additional to say, I usually say it at the end of the reading, so I don't interrupt the reading, so to speak. I don't feel like my channel is about me. I feel like it's about the messages that are out there for you. So if you make it to the end of the reading, then those are the people that usually might be interested in what I have to say at the end. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that reading. That was very different, very unique, and definitely Spirit stayed on topic for sure to help us, gain some insight. So have a lovely Tuesday, and I will talk to you tomorrow again on Wednesday. Tomorrow, Wednesday's topic is going to be who you have your eye on, and do they notice you? All right, so you can look forward to that, and I will talk to you then. Thanks. Bye.